Hello Liverpool fans, Nicky Hawkins here from West Ham Fan TV here on the Redmen TV to give my opposition preview for this Sunday's game in the Premier League against Liverpool at Anfield. Something I'm really looking forward to. Now, in terms of West Ham, what do you want to know? I can't really give you a lot of information regarding West Ham. We haven't had all of our players back since the World Cup, but we have signed, I think it's something about 10 players. Jack Wilshere, Balbuena, Anderson, Carlos Sanchez, all of those players. Now, I don't expect the new signings like Lucas Perez, who was another one that came in, to feature in the game on Sunday. But what I do expect is to West Ham to line up a little bit like this. I think Adrian will start and go over Lucas Fabianski. Adrian's played a majority of our pre-season, and just for me, Lucas Fabianski, I think he's come back to training a little bit late after the World Cup, and I don't think he's had enough time to cement himself into the starting position. So Adrian will start at left back. One of our new signings, Fredericks, will start at right back, and the reason he will start at right back is to try, and this is going to be tough, he's going to be try to cull the pace of both Mane or Salah, whatever one ends up playing on that wing. That's a tough job for us, of course. It'll just be Fredericks just because of his pace. If he gets a little bit skinned on the wing there, I think he might bring Zabaleta on just for a little bit of experience. But you know, if you could have both Zabaleta and Fredericks in one person, it'd be perfect right back to have. But you're either going to cull the pace or you know, cull the skill, and we can't do both at the moment. So I think the pace is more dangerous. So I think Fredericks will start at right back in Pellegrini's mind anyway. I think Ogbonna will start at centre-back. He's been one of our most consistent pre-season. Absolute magnificent pre-season for him. We haven't set the world alight like yourselves, of course. You know, you've been free scoring. And, you know, he will be a little bit... He'll look at that. I know you can't read too much into pre-season, but he'll look at that and he'll definitely have that in the back of his mind when he's picking his side. So you got Ogbonna, I think, will start centre-back. I think alongside Ogbonna will be Issa Diop. And again, once again, Balbuena is the one challenging him for a centre-back spot at the moment. Or Declan Rice maybe, but I think Declan Rice will play in midfield. But I think Diop will come in. Although he's a little bit inexperienced, he's a little bit younger, he's got that little bit more of a turn of pace when dealing with Bobby Firmino, as I expect it to be. Left back will be Aaron Cresswell once again. It's between him and Masuaku. I think Masuaku going forward is brilliant, but I think Cresswell will be brought in because of his superior defensive skills. Into the midfield now, I assume we're going to play a 4-2-3-1. Now, don't shoot the messenger because I really don't know. It's Pellegrini's first game in charge. I don't know how he's looking at it. I haven't had anything to compare it with. You can't really compare him with his time at Man City because he had a host of different players and a different way he could play. But I think he'll go with Rice and Noble in the midfield. I think it'll be a 4-2-3-1. I think he'll go with Rice, our youngster. Really impressive, played in central midfield for Ireland several times and got a couple of man and a match awards playing there. So I think it'll be him and Noble playing alongside him. Going forward, I think our new signings will come into play here. I think it'll be Anderson and Wilshere playing as the number 10 and the number 7, if you like to sit the left side of the attack. Anderson, of course, we haven't seen the best of him. He scored 1 goal in pre-season. He's still settling in, but I think he has got the attributes to cause you a little bit of trouble defensively. And Jack Wilshere, we all know about Jack Wilshere, came from Arsenal, very good pedigree. As long as we can keep him fit, we've got a good side on our hands there. But I think he'll play a bit further forward. I think he'll play in the number 10 role. On the right, it's between Yarmolenko, our other new signing, who comes with a good pedigree from the Ukraine. Spent last season with Borussia Dortmund. We signed him for £22 million. Didn't do too well there, but he has got a good goal scoring record. So I think he'll start on the bench. I think it'll be Mikel Antonio that starts on the right wing tomorrow. Just to give, he knows the Premier League. He's got a lot of threat, of course. We all know about him. He's scored a couple of goals against Liverpool in the past for West Ham. Bit of pace, bit of power, getting them crosses in. And up front, obviously, our main man, Marko Arnautovic. Now, what we have to be, obviously, I think that Wilshere, when we haven't got the ball, I think he'll be dropping into the midfield to add a little bit of support for them. And then as we're going forward, I think we're going to play a counter-attacking style of football, and I think Jack Wilshere will go and join the attack. How do I see this one going? I'd be a fool to predict that we was going to do that we'd win. I'd be a fool to predict that we'd even get anything, you know, based on last season. But this is a new season. This is a brand new season. This is our first game. I've watched Liverpool a little bit in pre-season. I've been watching the Redmen TV and all the stuff that we've been, the fantastic stuff that you've been doing on that channel. And I have seen that you've been scoring for fun. So we need to keep it tight. We need to keep it tight for the first half an hour. But being a new season, we have gone, you know, before and shocked people in the first game of the season. So I'm going to go for an optimistic 2-2 draw. That's what I'm going to go for. Obviously, we have to know the threat of Mo Salah, Sadio Mane, Bobby Firmino, and then you've got Keita coming into the midfield. Obviously, they'll be breaking up the play, and we've got a brand new goalkeeper to break down. So, but I'm going to go for it. 2-2 draw. I'm going to put my neck on the line here. Please don't be too harsh on me in the comments. I said last season that I think Liverpool will be a goalkeeper and a defender away from challenging for the title. You've signed the goalkeeper. You went and signed Van Dijk. So I think you'll have a brilliant season this season. But thank you very much for watching me here on the Redmen TV. Good luck for the rest of the season after this Sunday. And I'll see you all Sunday. Thank you very much. One thing left for me to say. Come on, you irons.